Good morning and welcome to another edition of Valley Views. I'm your host, Adam, and we're glad to have you with us today. For those who served, by those who understand, with those who care. Those are the first words you'll see on the homepage of the Foxhole Project. Joining me to talk about this and a lot more are Craig Rauwolf, he's the founder, and Cam, he's the vice president. Welcome to Valley Views, you two.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to be on.
We appreciate you joining us. And first, if you would, take a few minutes and tell our listeners about yourself, where you're from, those kind of things. Craig, let's start with you.
Originally from Tennessee, the Army brought me out to Colorado back in 2009. And then I came out to the Valley during COVID, so 2020. But I live in San Luis, and I work here in Alamosa.
Curious, where in Tennessee you're from?
I graduated from a small high school called Bolton. It's out in Arlington. It's like an hour or so northeast of Memphis.
Cam, how about you, sir?
Well, I'm from everywhere, honestly. I don't really have a little bit of a hometown. I did get out of the military over there in Fort Carson, Colorado Springs. Moved down here to the Valley about 5 years ago, built a cabin, and now I call this my hometown.
Well, let's delve right in. The Foxhole Project. What prompted you both to found this new nonprofit organization?
Well, the biggest thing is, I know when I got out and from other veterans I've talked to, there's a sense of everything is organized and you know who you're going to talk to and you have all these people that you call your brothers and sisters. And then the very first day you're out, that's all missing. It's all gone. And there's a sense of not knowing quite what's next. And after going through my own battles and struggles, and here I am 13 years later, and I thought maybe it's time to do something about it. And so me and Cam actually had a conversation for a long time about what that would look like. And the Foxhole Project was born out of that.
Your mission statement says to reconnect service members, veterans, and their families by fostering a strong, supportive community through overland retreats, campfire circles, and skill sharing where they can rely on each other like battle buddies and share strength, stories, and purpose. What does that mean to you, Craig?
So it's about, again, rebuilding that camaraderie we had, having a space where we feel like we're a family again. We're not lost in the sauce, as it were. And we're doing that through what we're calling camp retreats, going camping, going what's called overlanding, which is jeeping/camping experience, and through one-night campfire circles.
In your vision statement, Cam will let you answer this one, a connected veteran community where no one feels alone, where camaraderie is rekindled, healing is shared, and growth continues beyond service across trails, campfires, and even rally points we create together. How do you feel like you're meeting this mission statement?
I feel like we're meeting them pretty easily, honestly. There's a huge gap out here for the connection of veterans and finding groups that we can actually get along with, do things that we all enjoy doing. As we connect, as we grow, we are adding new events coming up, just like our overland retreats, and trying to set it up so that we can get these guys to learn how to do the skills that they need to take anything off-road or build anything that they want to do, and just kind of have a little bit of fun and get the group together.
Tell us about your core values. I note that there are 6 of them.
So they're built around this idea of a shared service. So I'll just briefly go through them because, again, like you said, there's 6. The first one's camaraderie. It's about standing shoulder to shoulder with the people that we're serving. It's not about being above them or beyond them, kind of how a lot of vets feel when they're in counseling and things like that. Growth through adversity is our second one. The idea there is that we believe that our traumas and our struggles don't make us who we are. They're just things that happen to us and we can grow past them. Purpose and agency is that everyone has something to offer, regardless of what it is. Everybody has a purpose here. Community-led healing. I've learned through what I do for a living that peer support and shared stories and connection with other veterans is really where a lot of community-type healing happens. It's better than even some counseling. Integrity and honor. We just want to be upfront and foremost. These are 2 values that we are instilled when we're in the service, and I want to make sure that we keep to them. We want to make sure that we're transparent as possible when it comes to everything that we do and everything that we spend, and that we're held accountable to the community. And then last, inclusion and respect. We want to make sure that we believe that every voice matters, regardless of what type of service, what service you were in. If you deployed, you didn't deploy, it doesn't matter what kind of veteran you are, you're a veteran and you belong here.
Do you all serve the entire San Luis Valley?
Right now, that's where we're starting off, but we like to branch out to every veteran. We did start on Discord, setting up a way for veterans to get together, play video games together, or just have a communication. We have something called the Veterans Lounge, where you can go on there, talk about anything that you might be dealing with through the day, get the same kind of information or at least the feedback that you're looking for like you used to get.
And are there other organizations that you're partnering with that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, so through what both of us actually do for a living, we have quote unquote partnered with the Legion Post, the VFW Post I'm a member of. They help me kind of get the word out and to market. Cam, I'll let you speak about Mount Carmel, but I'm also involved with the county's Veterans Office. So, when we get to those veterans that may need help outside of what we do have the ability to get them connected there.
I've worked with Mount Carmel Veteran Services. It's a group that started out there in Colorado Springs and been open for about 7 years. Overall encompassing group. They do, mental health and a little bit of financial aid out there to help with some kind of legal aid and everything. So it's just something that was a group that felt, okay, well, this is a good place to start and a good resource where they can connect you with plenty of options.
How can listeners get more information or get involved with your group?
First and foremost, the website, which is www.thefoxholeproject.org. There's a lot about us and how you can get connected. There's a volunteer page where you can, if you wanted to volunteer, there's an event sign up page for events and things like that. And then we've got a pretty active Facebook and Instagram. Almost every day of the week, I believe there's a post made. Anything that would be on our website would also usually be on those two platforms.
I know too that you're also on YouTube, LinkedIn, Threads, and you mentioned Discord too. So you're all over social media.
We're trying to cover everywhere we can.
In case you're just joining us, this is the weekly Valley Views program. I'm your host, Adam, and we're talking with Craig and Cam about the nonprofit organization, the Foxhole Project. Do you have any upcoming community events you'd like to share with our listeners?
Next week on Friday, starting on the 10th, we are going to do our first retreat out to Alamosa campgrounds. We're trying to make it so that we can get the veterans out for the first time, just a basic camp group. We're going to do some basic skill building, like how to pitch a basic tent, how to start a fire, all those kinds of things. Just kind of get us all a group together and introduce each other and everything. It'll go from the 10th to about the 12th. We are going to meet at Mavericks at about 1700 hours, and we will roll out together as a convoy so that everybody knows exactly where we're going and exactly where we're bedding down.
Around Veterans Day, we'll also be holding a campfire circle, which is one night we all get together around a bonfire, s'mores, water, things like that will be served. More of just a night for everybody to get together and try to build a connection with everybody. Again, all veterans, all ages of all types are invited. It's just a matter of getting out there.
And anybody that wants to join in on this, they can always sign up on the Foxhole website.
Going back to the website, you have a lot of resources there too. What are some of them and why are they so important?
Well, they're so important because the biggest thing that I've noticed, and I know I ran into this issue when I got out, is you don't necessarily know where to go, especially when you're in those moments where you need help. You don't know where to start. And we were hoping that at least we can dedicate one page on our website to be one of those locations where you can start regardless of what it is that you're needing. But there's all kinds of things on there. I know the resource guide that I helped build a few years ago is on there. It's a little out of date, but it is on there. Mount Carmel is on there. There's one called Operation Headstrong. They do telehealth, mental health casework for absolutely free. Gosh, I couldn't even name everything that's on there. The national hotline is also on there.
BOA is on there, which is the Volunteers of America. They help with permanent housing for veterans.
And there's a link also for all the local chapters. There are the American Legions and the VFWs as well.
There's quite a lot of information. Again, that's the foxholeproject.org. Does your organization have any particular needs at this time?
Right now, seeking sponsorships and donations so that we can get the materials that we need for our overland trips and the retreats. We're just looking for an overall kind of support, whether that's donations of camping materials or if it's, being able to pitch in a few bucks.
Or even volunteer time to come out and be one of the volunteers that help us teach some of the skill building workshops and what you're doing here. I mean, just helping us get the word out that this is a service here in the Valley. You know how the Valley works. Word of mouth seems to be the best.
What about future plans for your organizations, gentlemen?
The biggest one I have right now is we are planning two things for next year. The first one being our very first 7-day overland trip that will start here in the Valley and will go all throughout the Colorado mountains. It'll be 7 days long of camping, getting to know each other, doing some skill building, trying to teach vets how to do certain skills along the way to include vehicle breakdowns, things like that. And we're hoping to get that up and running sometime next summer. And then we're also planning our first annual fundraiser for next year as well.
Once again, how can our listeners get more information or get involved?
I would say, honestly, go to our website, the foxholeproject.org. We are always posting on there. Also, follow us on Facebook, the Foxhole Project. If you go on there, you can see all of our updates, all of our new events, everything that we are planning for the future. And then, obviously, get involved by volunteering with us.
Is there anything else that either of you would like to mention? Craig, let's start with you.
Join our Discord. If you're a vet, whether you know what you're doing or you have no idea what you're doing or you don't know where to start or you are super seasoned, join our Discord. Our Discord is a great location for you to learn all those things and or provide that help that others might need. The bigger the Discord grows, the more likely vets to take advantage of it.
Cam?
I want everybody to understand that we're out here because we want the community back. It's been a while since I've been out, and I know that it's been a struggle just being able to communicate and connect with people. And I don't want any veteran to deal with that struggle. Try to make it so that we can come back together and have a family.
Well, Craig, Cam, we appreciate you joining us today to talk about the new veteran-centric nonprofit organization, the Foxhole Project. Thank you for taking the time to discuss all of this with us, and thanks for listening, everyone, to another edition of Valley Views.